everyone, it's Lisa, and thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to make a card using the Stamp Anniething lemonade stand package. I purchased this at the Scrapbook Expo just a few weeks ago, and I was really excited to get my hands on it and make a card with it. And in this lemonade stand bundle, it actually includes all of this stuff. It includes the Stamp Anniething doll stamp. It has a sentiment, have a lovely day, and a cute little lemonade cup. It also has, and I've already marked this up, it also has the lemonade stand that you can use, and the sentiments, which you can actually turn this into a cookie stand, cupcakes, baked goods, bake sale, kisses. There are some cupcakes on here as well. And here is another stamp set that it comes with, which is a banner. There's a lemonade pitcher, a pie, and some sentiments. It also includes some grass dies, as well as some other dies, which are some baskets that you can put fruit in. There's a canopy piece for the lemonade stand die for this, or for the stamp, little canopy that goes above. And it also includes these die cuts, which are part of the lemonade stand package, and there's flowers and some baskets of apples, some more flowers, tulips, bananas, some oranges, strawberries, and these are all pre-cut die cuts. All you need to do is color them in. I'm going to go ahead and be working with this to make a card for you today.
So I went ahead and stamped out the girl stamp on the Spectrum Noir smooth, ultra smooth cardstock, and I stamped her with my Tim Holtz stamping platform, and I used the Lawn Fundamentals jet black ink to stamp her with so that I can color with the alcohol markers. And I switched between the Copic and the Spectrum Noir. Here you see me coloring with the Spectrum Noir markers. And for her hair, I used the GB9, 8, and EB2. And by no means am I an expert. I have learned just from watching videos and taking some classes, so I'm sure there's still a lot of learning that I need to do. But I did color her hair up, and now I'm working on her face. And for the skin, I switch over to the Copic markers, and I start at the very top of her face line and where her hairline meet, and I used the darkest color, which was the E53. Move on to the E51 and the E50. And for her cheeks, I used the R20 and R22 and then blended it out with the lightest skin color, which was the E50. Also colored her legs, her arms, and her neck. And I went over a second time just to make it a little bit darker. And there you see me just blending out that cheek color with the lightest skin color. And I'll put links to all these colors down below so that you can see what colors are used. And then for her dress, I used the B63, 66, and 69. And you see me here using the tip-to-tip method just to get a better blend. So I'm taking one of the colors, the lighter color, putting it on the darker color, and then blending it out on the paper. It just gives it a more smooth blend that way. And then here I stamped out the lemonade stand, and I'm switched back over to my Spectrum Noir markers, and I'm using the TN9 just to color in some of those lines that are already on the stamp. And I also will then go over that with the TN6 and then finally the TN4. And I go over that also a second time just to make it stand out and make it a little bit darker. So here you just see me going over a second time with a darker color, the TN9. Go back in with the TN6 just over the TN9. finally with the lighter color, the TN4, just to kind of smooth it out. And then with the word lemonade, I did use the Spectrum Noir markers. I used the CT4 and CT3, and then switched back over to the Copics for that blue background with the B00, again using the tip to tip, and then went to the B02 just to give it a more even blend. Then I take the lemonade pitcher and the cup of lemonade, again use the same yellow colors, the CT4 and CT1, to color those images in. And then just gave a little bit of gray tone to the top of that pitcher. Here's one of the die cuts from the bundle pack that was included, that was already stamped and pre-cut, and I went ahead and colored in some of those flowers with the R37, R35, and R32. The petals were so small that I probably could have gotten away with just doing 2 color blend, but I went ahead and did the 3. Same with the leaves. I used the G7, G5, and G3. Again, I could probably have gotten away with the 2 color blend instead of the 3 for that as well. And then the middle of those flowers was the B02. And then I used the Spectrum Noir IG3, 2, actually IG4, 3, and 2 for the bottom of that flower pot. Now this lemonade glass, I'm just coloring it in, and that little circle there is the hand. So when you put it on the little girl, it looks like she's holding that. I took a craft knife to cut out the center part of this lemonade stand, and then I fussy cut around, used the brown marker and just, colored in the sides just to make it look like it's all, no whites showing. So just colored around the sides. So here I took a piece of watercolored paper, and I'm just giving a sky background using the Distress ink, the Broken China. And I just put a piece of washi tape there because at the bottom I'm going to put the green grass for the bottom. Here I move it so that I can do the green. And the green is the Mowed Lawn and Twisted Citron, so I use both of those to do the grass part of this piece of watercolored paper.
So I'm going to start doing some die cutting, and I'm using the metal die builders, the canopy die, to die cut a piece of pattern paper. And the paper pad I use is the Friend Collection from the Stamps of Life, and this is the sheet I use to cut out the canopy. I've also cut out, using that same paper pad, a piece of yellow cardstock, and I'm using the scalloped border die from the Stamps of Life to cut out a scalloped piece of yellow cardstock, again from the same paper pad. And I have also used a rectangular die from the Stamps of Life to cut down my watercolor paper that I did the Distress ink on, so I cut that down for that. I've also used the Sunshine Collection from the Stamps of Life, and I used the metal die builders from Stamp Anniething for the grass, and I cut out these 3 pieces of grass that I'm going to use. Here's the pattern paper that I used, and I'll use these for the grass on my card.
So now I have a piece of 5x5, which is a card base, and I'm just adding some glue and putting a piece of pattern paper down, and then I will trim off the excess that's on the side. This paper is also from the Stamps of Life. I take the scallop rectangle, adhere it to the card, trim off the excess, and then I take the watercolored paper. I go ahead and lay out the images on the card before I adhere it. So start with the lemonade stand, the pitcher of lemonade, the cup of lemonade. I add the girl and the flower pot. Here I'm just kind of placing it where I want it to go, and then I will do the double-sided tape and adhere it to the front panel there. And then I have some grass. I put, I think it's 1/8 inch score tape on the bottom there Just the bottom parts are adhered, not the top part. Put the lemonade in her hand, and now I'm going to adhere it to the front of the card. Here I take the canopy and I score it. I believe I scored it about 1/8 inch from the top. I don't recall what the bottom measurement was, but just score it till it looks approximate so that you can have that shade. And then smooth it down, add some tape, and apply it to the card. Next, I had some little shaker bits from the Queen & Company, and they actually are shaped like lemons, so I thought that would be perfect for this card. So I add some glue to the one side of the lemon piece, and they fit perfectly on the little lemon pieces that were on the stamps. So I added one to the cup, and you'll see here I added another one to the cup on the lemonade stand, as well as over top of the lemon on the pitcher. Now I don't know if they sell these at Queen & Company. If they do, I'll link them below, but these were from one of the workshops that I went to at the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo a few weeks back. But I just thought they added a nice touch to the card, and again you can see here how they fit perfectly in those little lemon stamped images. And that is my finished card. So I'll go ahead and link everything below, all the products used. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, follow my blog at Lisa Mears Card Designs, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.